Hello and welcome to another edition of Plastic Models by a Regular Dude. I finished my prior projects and now it is time to start my next. And I'm finally, after false starting it a few times, actually talking about starting it a few times, I'm finally going to get cracking on the Tamiya new tool M4A3E8 Sherman. I've been wanting to build this one for a while now, but I keep putting it off for other projects, and now it's time to get started. So I'm just going to do a really quick kind of look inside the box. Not going to do an in-depth review because there's plenty of them out there already by more capable critics. So I'm just going to basically crack it open. We'll take a look what's inside the box, and then I can get started on it. Okay, so here it is, the U.S. medium tank M4A3E8 Sherman Easy 8 European Theater. This one is kit number 4228610. This one came out in 2015, so it's a really new release, and from everything I've seen and read, it's a very nice kit. As a matter of fact, my son has already built most, if not all of it, and is ready to start paint, and it went together really nicely. So, you know, box art, hoorah. Let's see, so what we have in here, and again, this isn't going to be some kind of really in-depth detailed review because there's plenty of them out there. I'm just gonna, take a look, make some observations, and then get cracking on building it. The kit tracks, for some people, the dreaded, as they say, rubber band tracks. Used to be vinyl tracks. Now they're a form of soft, pliable styrene. They look to be in pretty good shape as far as detail and so forth. They look pretty nice. So, that's what I'm going to use. In a future kit, I may get in some individual length stuff, but that'll just be on German armor. It's not necessary, I don't think, on American armor because of the way they kept the tracks tight. What do they call it? Live tracks or something like that. It means it's under constant tension. So anyway, tracks, they look good. They're supposed to be easy to work with. As you can see, I've had this thing a while and I haven't even opened it yet. Everything's still in the bags. Again, this is just going to be really quick. Looking at it, the detail is splendid. Cast texture on the turret here. It's got the foundry markings, which, as a younger modeler, I never even thought of that stuff, but, that's pretty crucial, I guess, because it was really on there. So, looks good. All of the parts. Let's see, this is more of the turret parts and some of the hull hatches, the mantlet, tools, jerry cans. All of it is like, well, it's a new tool kit, so it's like perfectly flash free. I mean, good grief, the side of the sprues don't even show any really. Yep, 2015 Tamiya don't show any seam lines. It's, man, technology. But there's some really tiny parts on here. For example, number 45 here. Don't know what that is, but that is really super tiny. So there's that sprue, the clear parts. I'm not going to take those out. I don't want to get them scuffed up, but it looks like the commander's cupola. Periscope covers. We've got the headlight lenses, looks like, and then some goggles for the crew members. Kind of a nice addition because that's something you don't see very often in kits, is the goggles that the soldiers wore at times. This is a little individual bag here, so I'm assuming it could go with any US kit. I'm not even gonna take it out of the bag. Well, yeah, well, that's the M250 caliber. Looks pretty nice. Got a very, very slight seam line that, I mean, won't take anything to take that off. With ammo can, mounts. So there's that. Let's see here. Then we have the wheels and bogie parts. 2 sets. Looks like one for each side. Again, very nicely molded. This is kind of nice here. All of the supports for the fenders, they only have one attachment point to the sprues, so that'll make cleanup a little easier. Parts look nicely detailed, and you know, from some of the stuff I've read from other reviewers, it's pretty simple compared to, say, a Tasca kit or even Dragon kits. But in the end, you know, maybe less parts, but the nice thing about Tamiya is their parts fit together like they're supposed to, and in the end you have something that looks like the subject you're modeling. So, you know, maybe less stuff, but nice nevertheless. Poly caps, obviously for the probably for the idler wheel in the back, and I'm going to say the idler wheels in the back, the drive sprockets, and then these are probably for the return rollers. Just going off the quantity there. There's a little tab for the tracks. Then we have the hull. Now this is something I'm going to remark a little bit on this, because I don't think I've built a multi-piece lower hull before. Generally they're molded as one piece, and this is a number of pieces. There are the 2 sides, the bottom. I believe this goes on the front, and then kind of a bulkhead in the middle to give some support. So, and then going off of what people have said and my son's experience with the kit, it went together really easily with no problems, and everything lined up just perfectly spot on. It's got some weird, that's kind of weird, because this has some ejector pin marks on the hull sides here. I didn't notice those before on the other reviews. I mean, somebody may have pointed them out and I just don't remember, but I'll have to kind of shave those off, which is no big deal because they're pretty light, not really, you know, they don't protrude too much. But and then we have the fenders, transmission cover, the engine deck cover, the rear of the upper hull, the exhaust baffle, some spare track links, final drive covers, toe pintle, exhaust, and a figure here, which I plan on using. Hopefully I can get him painted up a little better than my previous efforts. But, you know, again, not much to say. Nice and crisp and clean, and don't see really any weird ejector pin marks or anything like that, so that's nice. And then the upper hull. That looks really good. Nice cast texture up here by the hatches. And another nice thing, and others have pointed it out too, but I'm going to say something about it. Some of these, for some reason, the weld seams on the Tamiya kits, they're recessed down inside. I mean, it's got weld detail, but it's like in a trough, and that's not really the way it's supposed to be. These are flush with the surfaces of the hull, so that's kind of a nice improvement. The detail on this is pretty fine, like these attachment points right here where the fender supports go. Those are really sharp. So, you know, not a lot to say there. Looks good. Be kind of interesting to see if they release some other Sherman kits, newer ones, and use some of these parts. Then we got the decals. We got white and then the blacked out decals, and then, you know, there's decals are pretty sparse for these particular vehicles, so there's not much there. Then we have some Japanese stuff here. And the US of this just basically talks about the vehicle. Gives you a nice line illustration. All of the specs on the vehicle. Looks like it's in English, German, French, Japanese. So, yep, just some info on the vehicle. That's kind of nice. And then this is the instructions. They tell you how to build the model, so I'm not going to go through it. I do like the fact that it's in book form as opposed to the multi-fold out thing like a big map. So that's kind of nice. I like the book form a lot better. Some people it doesn't bother. I mean, generally it doesn't bother me. I don't really care because I can flip it around. But it is kind of nice in a book form because it doesn't take as much room on your desk, especially if you're jumping around going from section to section doing sub-assemblies and referring back. So that's kind of nice. So just, you know, good old Tamiya instructions. No problem. Be easy to build. And look just jolly. Now, I am going to be, it's 4th Division or 5th Division. Now, I'm not really sure how different these vehicles would be other than markings, and I don't see how there'd be a whole lot because there's only stars. There's no other markings on these things. So what my plan is I'm going to look online and see if I can find some stuff out, but I would like to model if the EZ8 was in the part of Europe that I would like to build a model up from. I would like to build a vehicle, I think it's from 6th Armored. I'd like to even narrow it down to, I think I can narrow it down to, you know, smaller unit size, but the vehicles that were attached to the 417th Infantry Regiment of the 76th Infantry Division, which was my grandpa's unit during World War II. So I would like to model a vehicle that was attached to my grandfather's unit and see if there's some markings that are specific to those vehicles, if they had EZ8s. If not, I'll just pick one of these and build it and be done with it. But I'd like to do that just, you know, just for a little bit of family attachment there. So anyway, that is the EZ8, and I will be getting started on this pretty quick. I will do, you know, like I've done in the past, I'll do some build vlogs, and I also keep my chums on some of the forums updated on my builds. They seem to enjoy it, and it's fun, and I can share some of my insight and maybe some comments and answer questions as I go along that might help somebody else build their kit. But anyway, that is the Tamiya M4A3E8 Sherman. I'm going to get cracking on that pretty quick, so keep an eye peeled for some build videos, and I will see all of you later. And as always, thanks again for watching Plastic Models by a Regular Dude.